I want some of your brown sugar. I want some of your brown sugar.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. This is Brownsugar commentating. I'm your girl, Kayla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos about black entertainment, black womanhood, and whatever heck I feel like talking about this week. Alright, let's get right into it. So today we gotta talk about this Blue Ivy situation, y'all. Like, one, the situation with the Saucy Santana tweets, as well as Lisa Ray's comments about Blue Ivy, as well as just the overall treatment of Blue Ivy in the public eye for the past 10 years of her life, okay? Or basically since she's been born, okay? Like, and really unmask the unblackness and the nastiness of it all, okay? So first things first, let's talk about the Saucy Santana tweets. So Saucy Santana recently came out with a new song called Booty that sampled the iconic Beyonce song Crazy in Love, and it was, it's blown up on TikTok. It's a good time. It's a nice song for the summertime, something for the girls to bop to per usual. And everyone's all excited because that really just means you got clear. Santana got a Beyonce sample clear. Like, you really going places, and I love to see it because I like Saucy Santana's music. However, as your star rises, it can quickly fall in the age of social media because people gonna look for them tweets, honey, especially when you start to blow up. And of course, I don't know if it's a member of the Beehive or just somebody that wanted to start some chaos, but I mean, this is the internet we're talking about, and the city girls always get their tweets resurfaced. So by affiliation, it was about Santana's time, okay, to have his feet held to the fire. And so what people found in Santana's old tweets was that he was talking a little bit crazy about Miss Blue Ivy, as well as some tweets about Beyonce, but several distasteful tweets about Blue, especially comparing her to the likes of Northwest and all of that type of stuff, and it was not giving it to the girls. So of course people were like, you're dead wrong, this is messed up, this is, Blue Ivy is a child, why would you say these things, like, what's this about? And Santana is not just like how the city girls are. I guess it's that Miami vibe, I don't know, but he was not trying to apologize, not really trying to take accountability. The most he was saying was like, oh, I was young, I was miserable. I think he was around 2021 at the time, but he was just like, yeah, I was young and miserable, and I don't owe y'all nothing. If I'm going to give anyone an apology, it would be Beyonce and Blue Ivy, not y'all. And it kind of left it at that. And so the thing is, while yes, obviously Santana does not owe us the people an apology, also it would be nice, just simply to say, like, knowing that you have female fans, and that unmasks a lot of trauma that, like, black girls go through, unfortunately, growing up. Like, so many of black girls have been the object of the nappy-headed comments, the bald-headed comments. Like, our hair is constantly a place of ridicule. If you grew up in predominantly black spaces, but even with white people, like, because white people don't understand black hair, it is always a topic of curiosity, whether that means them touching it, comparing it to wool, like, talking about it, or, the infamous when you get a new hairstyle and your white teacher, especially a male teacher, always be like, oh, that's interesting. Like, call me a nigger and go. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it always, like, made me go, like, now, Steve, do you talk about when Susie Q get new hair, like, or get a new hairstyle when she get little French braids? Do you talk about her? No. Why are you talking about my hair then? You know what I'm saying? But, like, as a person who has a decent, level of black female fan base, Santana really should have did his due diligence to really apologize and take accountability for his actions at the very least. But I do hope he does reach out to Beyonce and Blue Ivy and apologize, because what he said was completely unwarranted, because Blue Ivy is a child, and even in 2014 she was what, 2-3 years old? Like, come on now. And saying that Northwest can clear her, why? Because she's mixed? Like, check your anti-blackness, like, seriously, because this all is going back to. And we all know texturism, featureism, colorism all comes from the nasty tree of racism, okay? They are just mere branches on the tree of racism and white supremacy. So, you know what I'm saying? But let's get into it, right? Like I said, Blue Ivy is only 10 years old, and in such a short life, she's been the object of so much scrutiny and nastiness by grown-ass adults, okay? From the moment that Blue Ivy was probably around 1 or so, when a lot of pictures of her started to circulate in the media, people got to talking, right? And people were disappointed, I guess is the best word for it, at the fact that she wasn't, I guess, a carbon copy of Beyonce, and that she wasn't giving, mixed girl, despite Beyonce and Jay Z being both blackity black, you know what I'm saying? And so people kept saying, first it was the hair, right? It was the hair, and because Beyonce usually left Blue's natural hair in a natural afro, people were like, it was unkept, and people told me she needs to do something about that hair. Why is her hair never done? it's nappy, blah, 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 because Blue Ivy has a type 4 type texture. Even though she was, like I said, months old, maybe 1 or 2 years old, right? Everyone kept talking about the hair. It's nappy, it gotta go. People talked about it so much, it's the reason why in the song Formation, Beyonce literally says, I like my baby hair with baby hair and afro, okay? Because, and Blue Ivy was standing there looking tall and proud because y'all was talking about this woman's baby and saying that her hair was unkept. Meanwhile, that's the secret to success. If you want your hair to grow, you leave it alone. And what is wrong with a little girl rocking her natural fro? That, like, I never understood that logic. Like, literally everyone has something to say about that little girl hair. Like, including, I think it was Karrueche at the time. Once at the park who said something super crazy. And that's why they never let her co-host again. Because the Beehive got her swiftly and professionally up out of there, okay? Because I'm just like, once again, this is a baby. Like, a baby. And when it wasn't the hair comments, it was the featureism nonsense, where people thought that she looked like Jay Z. And what they really wanted to say was they were trying to, what they do to most black girls, basically trying to say she looks masculine. Because if you're saying somebody, you know, they're not saying she looks like Jay Z as a compliment, because, you know, in the black community, or like Jay Z has never been synonymous with being called attractive. While obviously there are people who find Jay Z attractive, a lot of people are vocal in the sense that they don't find him attractive. And really why people don't find Jay Z attractive is because of his prominent black features, right? His nose, his full lips, right? You always hear talking about Jay Z's features all the time, and that's why he's not deemed the most attractive. That's why a lot of people question Beyonce at first. And that's why she also had the line, I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. Like, come on. Y'all been talking mess about her man and her children. She ain't gonna play with y'all about that, okay? But yeah, so there was that, okay? And it's really interesting because, like I said, she gets compared to Northwest a lot because Northwest was born probably, what, right before Blue Ivy? Isn't Northwest like a year before, I think it was? I don't remember the timeline exactly, but they're similar enough in age. And it's crazy because no one has ever called Northwest ugly. No one talks about Northwest's hair. Because I also think that Northwest resembles Kanye a lot. And that's not a shade. That's not to be rude. I just think she shares a lot of Kanye West's features. And I think she's cute as well. And I'm not saying that Northwest deserved to be talked about the way that Blue Ivy was, but I'm saying it's interesting how no one talked about Northwest. And you want to know why? Because she was a mixed child. That's it. They wanted Blue Ivy to look how Northwest looked, but the difference is Blue Ivy comes from 1 black parent and 1 non-black parent, and Blue Ivy comes from 2 black parents. And y'all mad about it for some odd reason. Like, it's really weird. But the weirdness persisted, right? For the past 10 years, like I said, when it wasn't the featureism comments, it was the texturism comments. Like, even as recent as, what was it, at the top of 2020, that one picture that circulated of Blue Ivy with Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, and the guy, like the black journalist, was like, oh yeah, I feel like the Jay Z jeans are gonna hit Blue Ivy so hard and I feel so bad for her. And I'm like, what you mean by Jay Z jeans, sir? The nigga jeans? Like, what are you talking about? Why do you feel bad for her? What is wrong with her having Jay Z jeans? Like, that's her daddy. She's supposed to look like her daddy. She's supposed to share features with her daddy. And moreover, the features you're talking about is black features because she's a black child. You're mad because she looks like a black child? You're weird. And that's why he got right up out of there swiftly and professionally. But like, as much as people were on that guy in 2020, 2019, whatever it was, y'all should have been on them folks way back when. Because there was no reason how nasty was that little girl who cannot defend herself. Like, I really hope that Blue Ivy has no type of access to y'all tweets and the things. And I'm not talking about, obviously, people who were, you know, not saying these things. I'm not referring to y'all. I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. Y'all saw it. The North remembers, honey. The North remembers the nastiest that Blue Ivy was received by grown-ass adults. And speaking of grown-ass adults, let's talk about Lisa Ray, child. Let's talk about it. So, there's a show on Fox Soul that's like, I guess, like their version of The View or Real, whatever you want to call it, like a round table with a bunch of black women. I think it's Lisa Ray, Salida Johnson, Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan, I think are all the people on there. And they were talking about the incident with Saucy Santana's tweets about Blue Ivy. And, you know, everyone was giving their 2 cents. And basically Vivica Fox raised the question like, oh, Lisa Ray, what if somebody was talking about your granddaughter Bella? And she was like, oh, you don't want to hear what I have to say? And they're like, no, tell us what you have to say. And she's like, well, no one would talk about baby Bella because her hair's not nappy. And we all know that nappy is not usually a compliment. It's usually a place of ridicule. It's usually, you know, an insult. When somebody says you have nappy-headed hair, you're not usually a compliment, not usually a term of endearment. But I'm just like, Lisa Ray, sweetie, no one's going to talk about Baby Bella because you're irrelevant. Therefore, your grandchild isn't relevant. Unless your grandchild goes on to do great things by herself. If it's on your coattails, she ain't going nowhere. Second of all, it's really Vivica Fox who had to reel it in. Like, these are children. It doesn't matter if the child's hair is nappy or not. Why are you talking about children? Children should always be off limits. Like, Lisa Ray, come on. But Lisa Ray always gave me bad vibes. I'm so sorry about it. She never gave what it was supposed to give. I feel like she has that whole, like, light-skinned woman syndrome. Like, I'm light-skinned, so the world revolves around me, and I deserve everything in the world. And I don't deserve, like, I deserve the best or something. And it's like, sweetie, no. That's why the best movie ever did was The Players Club. Like, could you please sit down somewhere? Can you please sit down somewhere? That's why I feel like that's the reason why the bat don't really mess with her like that. Because it really took me to, like, a couple, what was it, like, last year before? Whenever the brat had her wedding, that I realized that her and Lisa Ray were sisters or half-sisters. And I'm like, what? Like, what? But now I know I should keep her distance from you because you already seem like a difficult person. But this just solidified for me because I'm like, not only are you a D-list actress, but you're colorist on top of it and texturist. Like, girl, please, it's not going to give you a role. I promise you. Hating on Blue Ivy is not going to get you nowhere, babes. Did you get the job? Did you get the views? Did you get the engagement? Like, please, have several seats, Lisa Ray. Like, so sorry about it. Boo, 2 thumbs down. I hate it. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I'm throwing tomatoes, okay? But yeah, all in all, leave Blue Ivy alone. Somebody said it, like, I hope that Blue Ivy grows up and just never deals with y'all ever again, because if I was her, I certainly wouldn't. Y'all were nasty down. That's why we only see Rumi and Sir about 2 times in life. Like, they 5 years old. We barely didn't see any pictures of them, and I don't blame Beyonce because y'all were nasty as hell to her child. I'm shocked Beyonce even talked to us at this point. Like, I wouldn't, because I'm like, not my child. But yeah, Blue Ivy deserved so much better than what she got, but I just know that she's going to be a superstar. And if not, if she just decides to just chill out, don't blame her either, because like I said, y'all were the gross to that little girl. That was completely not needed. It is no other reason for anti-blackness and anti-blackness alone, and y'all need to do freaking better. Not just for famous girls, but for little girls in your everyday life, because it just shows how y'all be treating and viewing them, and how a lot of y'all just wouldn't stand up for a little black girl if your life depended on it, which is truly unfortunate. It shouldn't have taken, I said, Blue Ivy really didn't start being perceived as beautiful, didn't start getting all the praise that she was getting until her hair grew to be thick and long, which we should have known was going to happen, because because Beyonce has thick hair, her mama got thick hair, Solange got thick hair. So, and also she left Blue Ivy's hair alone when she was younger. When you put kids in those tight ass styles and you keep manipulating it so much, it's not gonna grow. Like, that's just what it is. And because she left Blue Ivy's hair alone, it's thriving now, which y'all should have known was gonna happen. Instead of telling them what to do, she know what she doing. She know what she doing. But yeah, she didn't start getting compliments until she was in The Gift, and you know, in like songs like, what was it, Bigger and like Spirit, when Blue Ivy was in and her hair was so pretty and full and all that. Like, why did it take for that y'all to realize that her hair was pretty? Like, y'all should have, when your hair was in its natural, you know, natural original state, like, why wasn't she getting the praise back then? Why couldn't she just be celebrated for being a beautiful child instead of y'all talking about her hair? And even recently, like the pictures that circulated with Blue Ivy and Jay Z at the finals, and her hair was in this pretty like crimpy, curly, like beach waves type hair. Daddy to like ease up, and I was like, look, she growing up too fast. I couldn't believe it. But no, everyone's starting to compare her or see her resemblance to Beyonce now and saying how pretty she was. And I was like, why did it take so long for you to realize that she looked like her mama? Like, why? And even if she didn't look like her mama, why did it take for her to have this full curly hairstyle for you to say her hair was pretty? Why? Like, ask yourself that. Like, seriously, ask yourself, why did it take so long? Why? Because what if her hair never grew past like an inch? Would y'all still be saying it's pretty then? And I'm not saying that it's not pretty, right? Like I said, that is my girl. Blue's my girl, hands down. You know what I'm saying? In my head. But I'm just saying, like, why is it that black girls have to do so much for y'all to improve that our hair is long, prove our hair is full? Like, I want you to release yourselves from the shackle of that. Because every time they be like, okay, black girls, let me prove that I have this long hair and this weave. And I'm just like, you don't need to do that. If these girls think you bald-headed, let them think that. Like, who cares? It don't matter. I could have short hair. I could have long hair. I could be bald. Don't matter. What's it to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like India already told us so long ago, I am not my hair. Okay? Like, seriously, we hold so much, you know, there's so much to be said about Black women and hair and like the complexities behind it. But like, release yourself from the shackles for feeling like your hair needs to be thick, your hair needs to be long, and your hair needs to be kept properly for it to be perceived as beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. 4A, 4B, 4C, done, not done, in a bonnet, not in a bonnet, box braids. Y'all already know we protected styling girlies over here. Y'all see me in my faux locks, all right? Like, I'm always a new style, but I will definitely rock my hair when I want to. Like, but I'm just like, it took me so long to embrace my hair because I grew up around a bunch of people who told me that it wasn't good enough, and I forced I begged my mama for a perm, okay? And I really regret it. It wasn't like my mama forced it upon me. She wanted me to not get a perm, actually, but I begged her because I couldn't deal with the stares and the weirdness of like people, like all the other Black girls in my school had, you know, permed hair, and I was still getting, you know, box braids, or I did like box braids and like cornrows still. So like, I was like, no, I'm trying to be like them girls. Like, no. And I regret it because, you know, obviously that wasn't the best for my hair, but like so much of us went through that trauma, and it's just like, it's time for us to stop it for the next generation. Like I said, a lot of us have done the work, and I love to see it, but I still think some work could be done because, like I said, when it's not in a nice, neat package, when it's not done the way y'all want it to be done, it's still not good enough for y'all. And that's really unfortunate. But on another note, on another really small side note, Beyonce is coming, y'all. Renaissance Act 1 coming out July 29th, and I'm ready to receive, okay? I bought gift set 4, I think it was, or box set 4. Don't know what's in it. Don't know what's on it. But guess what? I know it's great because it's my queen. It's my mother. And I had to support. I had to support the queen. I don't care. It could be a blank disc for all I know. Could be Beyonce singing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I would still go, and it would still go double, triple platinum in my household because I stand, okay? Honorary member of the Beehive, hands down, don't care, okay? But yeah, my queen is coming on a better note, okay? And that's really all that matters. Blue Ivy is thriving, Beyonce is thriving, and that's really all that matters, okay? And it's great. But yeah. Anywho's, okay? Y'all let me know everything about this Blue Ivy, Saucy Santana, and Lisa Ray situation, as well as the overall treatment of Blue Ivy in the public eye. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Okay? Obviously, the ignorant comments will be what? Deleted, babes. Okay? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll definitely see y'all in my next video. Peace out, y'all.